Hello, I'm YouTube's Darren Jackson. I invest my money into Apple stocks, but I invest my heart into Samsung. Honestly, if someone were to ask me which one's better, Apple or Samsung, before they even finish the question, I would say Samsung. I love Samsung, the creativity, anything you can do with it. Almost every phone I've had has been a Samsung phone. Look, Galaxy Note 2, Samsung phone. Galaxy Note 5, of course, another Samsung phone, very revolutionary. You can't see my Galaxy S9 Plus because it's actually recording this video, as you can tell by the amazing features, maybe. I'll listen to dope beats with my Samsung Live earbuds. Yes, they're kind of pink, but you know, I like them. For me, Samsung is the greatest brand of phone that you could ever imagine. I can do anything with my Samsung phone, except one thing. You know what I can't do with my Samsung phone? I can't invest in Samsung, but I sure as heck can invest in Apple. So, coming from a Samsung user, I'm gonna explain to you, potentially another Samsung user, more than likely an Apple user, why you should invest in Apple and why Apple is more than likely one of the best stocks to invest in for the remainder of this year, for years to come. This is gonna be fun. What is going on, guys? My name is Darren Jackson. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. And did you know that Apple has consistently been one of the top 100 most traded stocks on Robinhood? I think as of yesterday, it was actually ranked number 1. And even when it was ranked in the 30s a couple of days prior to that, it could be ranked in the hundreds. It would still be ranked higher than Samsung because you can't invest in Samsung. Well, technically, you actually can invest in Samsung, but that's a bit of a story. We'll save that for another video, maybe. Now, despite my love for Samsung, I love investing in Apple. Now, my stock portfolio, as you can see, isn't the biggest, but Apple does make up a little over 10% of my portfolio with roughly about 3 stocks I've invested in. I'm really confident about their growth. And that's what I want to talk about today. Why am I so confident about their growth and why I feel like you should be investing in this video? I'm so confident in this stock that I'm actually making this video before even looking into their Time Flies event that's supposed to be happening today. I don't need to hear about the new watches and Macs and home pods and other types of pods that they're making. I know they're going to do well. That's why I'm talking about this right now. So in this video breakdown, we're gonna start with the question, what is Apple? Just in case you guys somehow don't know what Apple is, it's okay. Hopefully you'll learn it today. And then I'm gonna go over 3 different reasons why I feel like Apple should be invested into your portfolio as soon as you possibly can. So those 3 subjects will consist of stock details, services that they offer, products and services that they offer, and their overall financial history with those services, how it affects their stocks and stuff like that, and what I feel like can support the argument that Apple is a great stock to invest in, even if you love Samsung, because, you know, Samsung's the best. I mean, we can't really say anything else about that. All right, so as far as the Apple stocks go, so as of yesterday, Apple stocks ran at about $113 a share. They're probably a little above that right now, just anticipating this Time Flies event. They do have a dividend yield, but they're not necessarily known to be a dividend paying stock. It's almost like the icing on top for this company. I believe their yield is 0.56%, which means they give about 20 cents a quarter, so about 80 cents, a little over 80 cents per stock per year. But again, this stock is so accustomed to growth that more people that are into growth investing will invest into a company like Apple, and they'll just happen to reap the benefits of a little bit of dividends here and there every single quarter that they'll more than likely just reinvest into Apple. So don't invest in Apple solely for the dividends. Keep in mind the growth as well. They do have a PE ratio of about 34, and that's very important, especially when it comes to the finance side of it. Basically, to summarize it, they have enough money to be able to increase their dividend yield if they want, but basically they have enough money to be able to pay the dividends out and maybe pay a little bit more every single year, which they actually have. They've increased their dividend by a penny since last year, which isn't a lot, but it's an increase. They have enough money to pay off any other debts and bring the remainder of the money to their own company to help make enhancements on products and services and et cetera, et cetera. And that sneaks into the PO ratio, which I haven't talked about a lot. It's the payout ratio. It's essentially how much money they are spending in dividends to their shareholders versus how much money they're actually keeping. And as of Q2 of this year, they actually had a payout ratio of about 27%. That means out of the amount of money they make per quarter, they take only 27% towards their shareholders and they keep the rest, which shows a lot on the products that they make. Even though I like Samsung better, whatever, it still shows a lot about that. And you can be confident that despite the random drops, whether it's a bubble or anything else, they'll consistently grow. So before we get into the services, I forgot to actually mention what Apple is. So besides Apple being a fruit or one of my favorite types of pies, Apple is probably the biggest tech company in the world. They make products such as phones, laptops, computers, and they have other TV services. Just look them up, they're there. Like I said in a previous video, I can probably throw a rock in the air and hit somebody with an iPhone. I might hit their iPhone. Sorry. It seems like their screens crack really well. So that's what an iPhone is. Now let's go back into this next section, which is products and services. It really pains me to say, as a Samsung user, knowing that Samsung has an ecosystem and it's not that bad, it's just overshadowed by Apple's ecosystem. Apple probably has the greatest ecosystem in the world. If you have the phone, you got to get the laptop. If you have the laptop, you definitely need to have the phone. You want the computer, you want the AirPods, you want the tablet. Apparently the tablet and the computer and the laptop have some feature to that when you use one and turn off the other, your AirPods know it, and it's what? Oh my goodness, but it's amazing. And they've added new features towards the Apple brand overall. Earlier this year, it was Apple TV, which was highly beneficial, especially during these unfortunate times where a lot of people are staying at home. And Apple TV has been nothing but significant. I mean, we're talking Emmy nominations, self-proclaimed TV shows, Tom Hanks. I mean, you got Tom Hanks. I mean, you're doing something if you got Tom Hanks, seriously. So you have Apple TV. They're getting millions and millions of subscribers every single quarter, maybe every single month, if that. Not to get into the finances too much too soon, but their overall service revenue has doubled since, I believe, the fiscal year of 2016. I think they made $50 billion previous quarter just off their services. Their wearables, Apple Watch. I mean, this is a Fitbit, you know, because money, and it does almost the same thing. Oh, not really. And their Apple Watches, their AirPods, they have been some of the leaders in the amount of money they've been able to achieve in the previous quarter and the previous year. And with the ecosystem alone, there's a lot of iOS updates, and Samsung obviously does the same thing because, you know, Samsung's king, but Apple being able to automatically update millions upon millions upon millions of people's phones at the same time with these super secure softwares, these iOS softwares, it makes their service sector tremendous, which is why it's leading the pack on the amount of revenue it's bringing into this company. Now, speaking of revenue, the finances is something I looked into a little bit more, and it definitely exemplifies the reason why you should invest in Apple as soon as you possibly can, whether it's fractional shares or whole shares if you got that money. You know, good for you. So going back to the share price, which I said keep in mind earlier, if you guys don't remember, or if you guys didn't know somehow, there was a 4-to-1 stock split that took place a couple of weeks ago. And leading up to that stock split, Apple reached a stock price high of about $500. That's actually what the price was based off of when the split happens, which means the following business day after the split happened, you were looking at 4 shares of $125 per 1 share that you originally had. And when that 4-to-1 share split was announced, Apple became the first US-based company to hit a $2 trillion market value, which is insane. And of course, that was kind of in the bubble factor. People are just really excited. They're buying into this company. But even now, it's still in the late $1.9 trillion. So its potential within the given weeks after this Time Flies event and when they unleash their new iPhone, which apparently not going to be talking about in this event, they're probably going to make it back to $2 trillion. We're just going to have to see. There's a lot of people that feel like this stock is overvalued or undervalued. I thought it was undervalued, but we'll just have to see. Going back to the products and services, which include the Apple TV, iOS, customer service, and other services that they have for the iPhones and other products that they have in their Apple lineup, have been the leading pack for the revenue that they've generated over the past couple of quarters. Now, every sector that Apple has experienced double-digit percentage increases over this past quarter, except, ironically, the iPhone. Now, I'm not really too concerned on the reason behind that, because stores were closed because of what's going on in the world nowadays. So that makes sense, but they still had an increase. It probably would have been better if Samsung hadn't unleashed their Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, which looks super dope, but it's really expensive, and that's just me being biased because I love Samsung. But anyway, the one biggest financial reason why I'm really excited to not only have stocks of Apple, but to know that I'm definitely gonna buy more in the future and consistently buy more and build up that portfolio, and why you should buy more, is their cash flow. Cash flow is so important. I've realized that over my time of investing. It's what can keep a company afloat when things such as this happens, this pandemic. People are not going to Apple stores as often because malls are closed, or they had been closed at a period of time. Individual stores are closed. Other stores like Best Buys and Walmart had their hours adjusted so people don't have time to go. But Apple has the cash flow that's rated as of June 20th to be at about $190 billion. That means employees can still get paid. It means dividends to shareholders can still get paid out. That means they can pay off debt still. They can make up for money that they lost. Having that cushion can keep a company even as juggernaut as Apple afloat. And if they didn't have that cash flow, then even a company as juggernaut as Apple could eventually fall. So that support system is something that makes me encouraged to continue investing in that stock. Yes, I consider myself a heavy dividend investor as well. I would love to see that payout ratio, 27%, increase a little bit so we can get some money back, but that's just me being whatever. But I love where Apple's at right now, and I really think you should invest in them, even if you're a Samsung user, even if you know deep down in your heart Samsung's the best, because whatever. So I hope you guys got a lot of knowledge on this video. Make sure you watch some of my other videos and let me know what you think about Apple stock as well. Let me know what you think about the Apple phones. Definitely comment if you like Samsung as well. Hopefully this video and these other videos help you on your investing journey as they have in mine. But until next time, guys, take care. And Samsung's the best.